This will be a league game here tonight to open the season, the Ponders and the Raiders. And I forgot to ask Coach Bowler, but I know Arlington lost in the second round here at home, and they were riding a crazy home winning streak. So I guess as far as regular season winning streak, I want to say it's upwards of, 20-something games, I want to say. And the Spy Ponders have not lost a regular season game here at the Kozlowski Gymnasium since probably 2014, I think, or maybe late 2015. So quite an impressive streak for the Ponders on the line here tonight as we get ready to open the season.
Just has a little more flavor to the action tonight, Don.
And I think upcoming we're going to have the announcement of the starting lineups for the Raiders of Watertown High School. They'll be introducing number 3, junior guard Julio Fulker. Number 5, senior forward Isaac Huff. Number 11, junior center John Corte. Number 21, senior forward Jaden Hairston. And rounding out the starting 5 for the Raiders will be number 35, Vondre Chase. And the Raiders are coached by Coach Steve Harrington. And amazingly, Coach Harrington in his 23rd season as the head coach of the Raiders.
Don, there's no one with more experience and really cachet in the area than Coach Harrington. He's led his team to several successful seasons, is very well respected by players and coaches in the area, and he supports a team that comes in that was young last year, started a lot of sophomores, and they'll be in a much more experienced group this year and looking to improve on their 10-10 record of last year.
Well, I'll tell you one thing you're going to get with any Coach Harrington team is a team that's going to play hard, they're going to play physical, they're going to probably play man-to-man, full court, in-your-face defense, and that's the way Arlington plays too. So I think it's going to be a matchup of similar styles, and it'll just be a matter of who gets the better of the matchup here tonight.
No, that's just the way I like it. The will to win.
And so now you have the first time for the season, the starting lineup for your Spy Ponders. Number 0, Nicholas Corrales. Number 14, sophomore James Gascoigne. Number 23, junior center Ben Wasco. Junior tri-captain number 20, Dom Black. And rounding out the starting lineup for the Spy Ponders, for the second year a captain, a tri-captain, number 2, senior guard Colin McNamara. Head coach of the Spy Ponders in his 9th season is John Bowler. He's assisted by Jackie Woods, Connor Bishop, and the director of basketball operations, Tim Schuler. And now we will have the playing of our national anthem.
Play some hoops.
Tonight's officials are Marcus Jones and Dave Engelson. Veteran official Dave Engelson. Dave Engelson, a prominent member of Board 27, one of the bigger, well, actually the biggest board of officials here in Massachusetts. And he's been doing this for quite a long time. Marcus Jones, a newer official, but 2 quality officials on hand for tonight's game, so it should be a well-officiated game.
Absolutely. It's funny you mentioned Board 27. The Spy Ponders will be playing in the Comcast tournament this year against Marlborough, an invitational tournament hosted by Board 27. Something to look for early for both teams is, just as you said, Don, is the running. But the Spy Ponders especially, they want to get up and down. They want to create turnovers. They want to create havoc. They're going to go 10 deep. They're going to press all over the court, try to get the ball out of the point guard's hands.
And we're getting ready to start action for the 2016-2017 season. The tip is controlled by the Raiders. And right away, Don Black with the steal. Don Black drives, lays it up, can't get it to go. Rebound fought for, put back up, no good by Wasco. And a couple good chances for the Ponders, but they come up empty.
Very good chances. The deflected balls is what John Bowler wants. There's another one.
McNamara almost had a steal. Arlington defense extended all the way up to the midcourt line. Good pass there, and up and under shot is no good. Rebound fought for. Black comes up with it for the Ponders. Gets it ahead to Corrales. Wasco at the top of the circle. Arlington running man-to-man offense. McNamara had the ball stripped away, keeps control. 12 on the shot clock. Good defense by Watertown, and now too much defense there as the foul will be committed and called against Vondre Chase.
A little hand check there, and it's going to be interesting to see McNamara early. He's coming off an injury which sidelined him for much of the fall and into the preseason here.
First foul, of course, on Chase. First foul on the team. McNamara fakes, drives to the left, has the shot blocked. And that's number 31, Hairston, on the block for the Raiders.
And there you're seeing early. Last year we saw McNamara finish that play through contact. A little bit rusty tonight just to open up.
In the corner to McNamara. Gascoigne with a touch.
A 1-3-1 trap here for
3 on the shot clock. They get it inside to Gascoigne, and he's going to be called for a traveling violation. Caught up on the baseline. He knew he had to do something with it as the shot clock was winding down, and a traveling violation committed by the sophomore.
The Spy Ponders are a little bit confused there. I thought they thought we were in man, but they're really in a 1-3-1 trap and zone. And Gascoigne, as you said, got a little happy feet there with the clock running down.
Arlington looks to be in man-to-man defense as well. A good drive there. That might have been a travel there. No call. Rebound by Wasco. Pounders looking to run. Gascoigne ahead of the pack. So is Don Black. He lays it up, no good. He is fouled on the play. He'll go to the line for 2.
Don Black showing his worth. This is what he does. Gets up and down the floor. He finishes at the rim. This time he got the hoop. I got the harm, didn't get the hoop, and he'll go to the line for 2.
I have that on the scoreboard as number 13 on the foul, and Don Black gets the free throw to go, but I don't think there's a 13 in the game. Perhaps it's 31 on that foul. Not sure.
I believe so.
Yeah, I'm not sure who that was on, but first on him, second on the team, and Don Black has the first point of the 2016-2017 season for the Spy Ponders. He hits both free throws, and the Ponders lead it 2-0.
Here comes that pressure, looking for deflections. They'll try to stop dribble penetration here. Keep everything to the outside. No dribble penetration to the middle.
And that's just what Watertown does, and laying it up and in is number 11, John Corte. First points of the night for the Raiders. Yeah, and they're going to get Wasco on that screen. You could see when he set the pick, I think he had pretty good position, Scott, but then he kind of extended the hands, and I think that's what they got him for.
Extended the hands and then moved the body into space. Excellent call there by the officials. And the Spy Ponders are moving the ball well, but I got to say that Julio Fulcar is doing an excellent job pressuring Colin McNamara early in this ballgame.
And that foul is the first for the Ponders.
Keep it out of that middle.
It looks like he likes to go that way, that Corte, number 11. Kick it out to Corte, who's going to take the three around the rim and out. Well, the Arlington players both went for the fast break. Nobody went for the rebound. And now Corte picks up the loose change and lays it up and in.
Corte was the only one that wanted that ball right there. The Spy Ponders were thinking to the other end. Got to get the ball first.
First lead of the game early on for the Raiders. Now Wasco with a nice little baseline turnaround is good.
Wasco with a little dipsy-do turnaround. Nice move by Wasco.
4-4 with 4:45 to go in the first quarter. Remember, we play 4 8-minute quarters now in Massachusetts, MIAA rules. And each team gets 5 60-second timeouts. That shot is off the side of the backboard. Don Black has the rebound. He's looking to run. He's just so much faster than everybody, but good defense by the Raiders. They had 2 players interrupt that play. And now up and in, count the basket. And that's number 35. Vondre Chase, count the basket, and Chase will go to the line with a chance for a 3-point play.
Chase with a terrific steal, coast to coast, the hoop and the harm. He took the collision, made the basket. Fine move by the youngster.
Colin McNamara picks up that foul. His first, second on the team. Yeah, I think they have that scoreboard's not working properly up there because it has player 1 and foul 2. It should be player 2 and foul 1. So that is not something we can rely on here tonight.
First game jitters for everyone, Don.
Colin McNamara with the left hand lays it in.
McNamara showing he's ambidextrous, finishes with the left. That's what we saw all last year. A player that scored over 20 points per game for the Spy Ponders, expected to do big things for them this year.
We're tied at 6 until that little jump shot there by Julio Fulcar breaks the tie, and the Raiders lead at 8-6.
Fulcar says, whatever you can do, McNamara, I can do just as well. Little stop and pop.
And it looks like they're going to get Vondre Chase on that foul. And, you know, Scott, as a coach, you really don't want, well, I guess they list him as a 6'3" guard, but one of your taller players out there defending past the three-point line, and he picks up his second foul.
No, you don't want that at all. And the Spy Ponders, one thing they have, they got a lot of depth. They're going to go 10 deep tonight. Here's that 1-3-1 again, trap and zone. The keys are the corner and then down to the middle. There it is, that Gascon, right, they missed Gascon that time.
Well, nice little pass there, but ball's knocked loose, out of bounds, and during that last little exchange, Adrian Black, number 4, junior guard, checks into the Ponder lineup for the first time. Adrian Black, a newcomer to the Spy Ponder team this year.
Black's going to take on Fulcar here. He's got some nice pressure early.
10 on the shot clock for the Raiders. A little jump hook there is no good by Corte. And now Black is triple teamed for a moment there. Gets out of the traffic. Here comes Gascoigne to the lane. Lays it up and in.
Gascoigne to the lane. A little 1-2. Big giant steps. Finishes at the 10.
So James with his first points of the season. Now a little baseline jump shot is good. And that's number 31, Jaden Hairston. And upon making that shot, Watertown takes a timeout.
Watertown takes a timeout, and I can see Coach Bowler and Coach Woods aren't too happy with the Spy Ponders transition defense, and more specifically on defense, they're allowing the Watertown players to get into that paint, to dribble drive into the paint, and that's where all kinds of havoc is caused on defense. You want to keep them out. You want to force outside shots with a hand contested in their face. And so far, the Spy Ponders are really struggling a little bit. On offense, I think they're moving the ball well. I think they need to identify the offense, but I think it's really going to have to start on the defensive end.
It usually does, Coach. It usually does. But, yeah, a little bit of a sluggish start, I think, so far for the Ponders, but I think they'll be okay. Even scoring for the Ponders so far tonight. They have 4 players all with 2 points. So nobody's really taken control of the game offensively yet, but we're only 5 minutes and 7 seconds into the first quarter.
I think a matchup to look on early is Watertown has Fulcar guarding McNamara, and it's a cross match on the other end where they have the Adrian Black guarding Fulcar. So when you have cross matches, a lot of times you're going to have a little bit of problem picking up guys in fast break.
Watertown switches to the 1-3-1 here. Coach Harrington during that timeout switching things, making the Ponders think, adjust, and the 1-3-1 works that time as Arlington turns it over.
The 1-3-1, I've never been a fan of using the 1-3-1 on defense. If the offense is patient, they can get shots anywhere they want, especially in the corners and for big sliding down the middle. See if they stop dribble penetration in the middle here.
We're going to have a traveling violation committed by Corte. Corte, the leading scorer here in the first quarter with 4 of Watertown's 10. The Raiders lead it 10-8, coming up on 2.5 minutes remaining in the first quarter.
So it's a 1-3-1, so you want to attack it with a 2-1-2.
Yeah, Arlington very unsuccessful on 2 possessions against that 1-3-1. So let's see if that presents itself as a problem. Now driving into the lane, shot was missed, and now we're going to have a foul. Oh, wow, is that going to count? I think it will. Count the basket, and a chance for a 3-point play for Watertown's number 3, Julio Fulcar.
Now, Fulcar is just a man among boys so far in this game, pressuring the ball. There's getting a rebound, pulling it down, going up strong, getting hit, playing through contact. He's showing the whole package here tonight, and right now the Spy Ponders got to figure out that 1-3-1 zone defense. They're going to be in a little bit of trouble here.
For the Ponders, number 24, Joey Pazia checks into the lineup for the first time, sophomore forward, his first action as a Spy Ponder. Colin McNamara, he's been harassed so far here in the first quarter, and remember, Colin's usually good for about 20 a game. There's the 3-point shot there by Don Black.
Black way downtown, bang, and there's your steal.
Still by the Ponders. 12-11 Watertown for the first lead. McNamara short, Black there for the offensive rebound. Ball is held. I think we're going to have a held ball, and on the alternate possession rule, it will be Watertown ball.
It is a held ball, but you love my man Don Black in there battling for that rebound, giving every ounce and everything. They get a tip, they had a 3-pointer, and a tip ball. This is the high frenetic, high pace action that the Spy Ponders feed off of.
Now, Coach Bowler wants that basketball. I thought Watertown won the tip, and I don't think we had a held ball yet. So, indeed, it should be and will be Arlington ball. You know, 6 of one, half dozen another, because there's going to be at least 3 more alternate possessions that we can guarantee. But Coach Bowler wanted that possession, and he's getting it. Arlington got a fresh 30 on that, and with a minute and a half to go in the first quarter, they look to take the lead.
And they got to move that ball against this zone. You got to move 2-1-2, move that ball, move the ball.
Excellent aggressive defense so far by the Raiders. Now they get it down on the low post. It looked like Gascoigne got hit on that. Plays through it, and the Raiders with the rebound. Minute 15 to go, first quarter. Ponders down 1.
Much better possession there by the Spy Ponders.
That shot will not count. They're going to get a blocking foul committed by number 4, Adrian Black.
Adrian Black is a little step slow there with Fulcar, and I'll tell you, this Fulcar is a player. He's tough, handles the ball well, and what he does, what impresses me most is he handles contact real well.
First on Adrian, 4th on the team. Minute 11 to go, first quarter. Another good drive there by Corte. He takes it strong to the hole and lays it in. Corte's been strong to the basket so far for the Raiders.
Very strong, and again, attacking that middle. Attacking that middle. Got to protect the middle if you're the Spy Ponders.
Nicholas Corrales back into the Ponder lineup, replacing Colin Mack. That ball was tipped, and it will remain Arlington ball. 16 on the shot clock, under a minute in the first quarter.
So what you got here for the Red Raiders is they're trapping in the corner off this 1-3-1, and sometimes they're not, sometimes they are. The Spy Ponders really got to move that ball out of, he's got to get it out of his hand real quick, and that was a little late.
Number 33, Sam Swift into the Ponder lineup. And now strong to the basket is Vondre Chase for 2 more. And all of a sudden, the Raiders with a 5-point lead. There's a about a 4-second differential between the game clock and the shot clock. Ponders cannot hold for a final shot, but they can get it pretty close. They trail by 5. Don Black, foul line jump shot, no good. Black tips it away, gets it to Gascoigne. Gascoigne got hit. Can't get that call. Boy, looked like he got hit on that inside arm.
Lots of contact. Here's Fulcar.
Fulcar to the hole, blocked from behind.
Oh!
And let's see if they're going to get Gascoigne or are they going to get Swift. But we need that same call down the other end.
We sure do, but I got to tell you, Don, in this type of an atmosphere, Fulcar has shown that he's going to play through that contact, that he's tough, that he almost just wants the contact, and officials will reward that sometimes.
Foul was committed by James Gascoigne, his first, 5th on the team, and Fulcar hits the first of 2.
Couldn't be more impressed with this Fulcar. He's everywhere. He's everywhere on defense, passing the ball on offense, finishing, contact, hitting free throws, the whole package.
For Watertown, number 22, Winston Rodriguez checks in. Fulcar hits both free throws, and with 1.5 seconds remaining, Colin McNamara will check into the Arlington lineup and see if he can get off a final shot as the Ponders trail by 7. Let's see if we can let that ball roll, and then Ponders going to fire it up from half court. Down if it goes, it does not. And that's the end of the first quarter. So kind of a quiet crowd here at the Kozlowski Gymnasium. The home crowd not pleased with the beginning of the first quarter. 18-11 Raiders after 1.
Well, Don, I think what you got here is a crowd that's seen this team do nothing but win the last 2 years. You mentioned at the top of the broadcast. They're probably a little bit confused more than anything of what we're seeing here. And we're seeing a Red Raider team come out a little bit more aggressive than the Spy Ponders. They're throwing defense out there that maybe they're not quite ready for, that they're just a little bit step faster to every spot on the floor. And I've always said that basketball is 1,000 different races to different spots on the floor, and the team that wins the most races usually wins the contest. And right now, the Red Raiders are beating the Spy Ponders in those individual races.
Yeah, we mentioned at the top of the telecast that one thing you're absolutely going to get, whether he feels like he has a good team, a not so good team, an average team, is you're going to get defensive pressure from Watertown team coached by Steve Harrington. That's the bottom line. And if you're not ready for it, then it's going to smack you in the face for the first quarter. So now Arlington hopefully will be able to make the adjustments, know what they're getting into, and have a better second quarter. And I look for them to do that right now.
I do too. You got 3 returning starters in Black, Gascoigne, and McNamara,
right.
And this is where they need to step up.
And let's check the 5 for the Spy Ponders to begin the second quarter. You have number 0, Nicholas Corrales. You have number 20, Don Black. You have number 33, Sam Swift. Number 2, Colin McNamara. Number 14, James Gascoigne. Just underway second quarter. Ponders trail by 7, and right away the Arlington defense creates a turnover. So let's see if that kickstarts the Ponders here in the second quarter. Colin McNamara, very quiet first quarter, held to 2 points, and you can see Watertown really paying some special attention to him. I think Colin averaged close to 20 points a game last year, if I'm not mistaken. Swift just inside the 3-point line and hits.
Much needed basket for the Spy Ponders. They were a little more patient with the zone. They felt a little more comfortable that time, and it paid off.
Now the Ponders pick up the defensive intensity a little bit here. Picked up full court. Watertown broke the press, got off a pretty good shot, didn't get it, but they were able to corral the offensive rebound. And an offensive foul will be called.
Wow. Wow. A little chicken wing there? I might have missed that.
I didn't see that one either. It looks like Cortain. He looks as confused as anybody.
Yeah.
And now Coach Harrington's going to get an explanation from Dave Engelson. And I don't think he really honored that explanation.
No, I don't think he did at all.
As he's down all the way down to the baseline. And one thing that was supposed to be a point of emphasis here was to keep those coaches in the coaching box.
Oh, I'd love to see that.
And as you may have heard me say, as the Gascoigne goes hard and lays it up and in.
Gascoigne again fights through contact. No call. Finishes at the rim. And the Spy Ponders got a little bit of momentum here. Let's see if they can keep them out of the middle.
They have the first 4 of the second quarter, and they cut the 7-point lead down to 3 about a minute and a half into the second quarter.
Here comes the pressure.
Five on the shot clock. Watertown's going to have to get something off soon. Pull-up shot. Ooh, and Gascoigne maybe got away with something there right at the shot clock buzzer. Black up and under, lays it in.
And dipsy do for Black, but the play was keyed by McNamara. Oh!
Yeah, and a little nickel and dimer there on Colin from behind. And for Colin, that'll be foul number 2, 6th on the team. So Arlington close to being in the penalty. That play happened right in front of Coach Bowler. Coach Bowler thought that maybe Colin got that one as a clean pick.
He did. I thought he got it as a clean pick, and bad break from McNamara just when he's really in a nice play there. Addition to Black for a deuce, he gets a foul called on the other end.
Dom Black still nice play by Dom Black, and he lays it up and in.
Dom Black, bing, bang, boom, showing the Spy Ponders what they're made of, just what Coach Bowler wants. The deflection finishes at the 10, through some harm in the hoop. My man, Dom Black.
And what a play it was by Dom Black. He's so quick. He got his hand on the ball on the sideline here to deflect it, and everyone was thinking, okay, no backcourt because Dom Black deflected it and the Watertown player is going to get it. But no, he out-hustled the Watertown player, I'm not sure who it was, to the ball, and then ends up taking it all the way to the basket, laying it up and in, and giving the Ponders their first lead in quite some time, 19-18, as Watertown takes a timeout.
Watertown takes a timeout, and Dom Black won the race.
Yep.
He won a race to that ball, just what we were talking about.
One of those
One of those 1,000 races, and the little things that make the difference there. And in fact, it wasn't just that race. You saw a race, Gascoigne on the other end won a race to the basket. Maybe McNamara won a race there, got a call for a foul, but right now the Spy Ponders are picking up the tempo, just what Coach Bowler wants.
Arlington with the first 8 of the second quarter, and another thing that caused that I know Watertown doesn't want is Coach Harrington, like Coach Bowler, they like to take those positive reinforcement timeouts after a made basket or after something good happens. That forced Coach Harrington to take a negative timeout. And again, another play by the Ponder defense. This time it's Adrian Black. Now the ball's knocked out of bounds, last touched by Adrian. But my point to you, Scott, was as a coach, you have a certain idea of what you want to do. But Coach Harrington, who wants to take a positive reinforcement timeout, is forced to take a negative timeout because Arlington went on that 8-0 run, and he didn't want to see this the entire momentum of this game change.
And it has changed. The Spy Ponders are everywhere right now. More
yes,
deflection.
Sir. Little 2-1-1 break. He lays it up and in. A little double team there by Black and Corrales, I believe, caused that turnover. And Dom Black now with 11 first half points. Another double team here. This time Watertown able to dribble their way through it. Now we have a situation where the shot clock never started. So the referee's going to have to figure this one out. I don't know if the game clock did or not, but the shot clock did not. And so they'll have to make that adjustment.
I'll tell you the last thing Coach Bowler wants right now is this game stopped.
Right. Good point.
This right now all the momentum is with the Spy Ponders, led by Don Black and also Adrian Black. Both players have been all over the place on defense, creating deflections, turnovers, and leading the baskets on the other end.
They've decided to put 23 seconds, going to make that 22 seconds on the shot clock. So apparently the game clock, no, neither clock did, because the game clock had 5:34. It's now down to 5:26, and they put 22 in the shot clock. So neither clock ran after that last play by the Ponders. But everything has been corrected, and we're back to live action. There's another strong move there by Corte. I've been impressed with him so far tonight. Junior 6'4" centers, get some good moves to the hole. Adrian Black off the backboard, no good.
There's a quick shot there for Adrian, but I think he's earned it with his defensive play.
There's Corte again, this time with the left hand, a little push off there to create some space. Shot is missed. Gascoigne with the rebound. Gets it to Black. Black really no numbers this time. Gascoigne for I think it was a 2, doesn't matter, didn't go in. Wasco keeps it alive. Corrales lays it up and in.
Wasco kept the ball alive, tipped it to a teammate, another deuce for the Spy Ponders, and they're rolling right now.
Again, Arlington with the full court defense, double teaming, and that was just an unfortunate situation there. Dom Black just kind of playing the defense there, and their feet got collided or clipped and caused the foul, and I think that's going to put Arlington over the limit. I don't think the officials are aware of that yet, but it's going to be 1-on-1 for Watertown.
Yeah, and Fulker's going to be at the line. He's been everywhere in this first half, but once the Spy Ponders picked up their defensive intensity, he took a little bit of a step back, had a couple of turnovers, and he's fortunate to be at the line right there, because I think, to be honest with you, Don tripped over his own 2 feet.
That's possible, but sometimes you just have a play like that, man, and when it just looks like that, sometimes you just have to go with what the more likely scenario was. 1 of 2 for Fulcar. Ponders lead it by 4, 23-19, almost halfway through the second quarter.
And now the Red Raiders back into a straight man-to-man.
Right.
Much more to the Spy Ponders' liking.
Don Black is going to take that little pull-up baseline jump shot. That's a tough shot, man. He can make that shot. It's going to be a great year for Don Black, I'll tell you that much.
Well, I'll tell you, if he can make that shot, Don, he's going to be a all-scholastic basketball player.
There you go. And maybe a little too much defense there. Ponders have to be careful. Harrington wanting the blocking foul, and I don't blame him, because he wants to get Don Black in foul trouble if he can. Forced shot there by the Raiders, and Coach Harrington did not care for the non-call nor the shot selection by his team. And now as they tried to get the ball in town, down low onto the block to Gascoigne, a holding foul committed by the Raiders.
You know, Don, it's kind of been the tale of 2 quarters here. The first quarter was dominated by Watertown physically and emotionally, and this second quarter has been just the complete opposite. The Spy Ponders have turned the tide completely over to their side.
Number 5, Isaac Huff, back into the Watertown lineup. He picked up that foul, his first, 5th on the team, so Watertown still with 1 more to give before Arlington will be in the bonus. And now looks like Adrian Black stepped out of bounds on the sideline.
Ouch. Those unforced errors are the ones you really hate to give up. And that time, the Red Raiders were back into that 1-3-1, a little bit more sagging this time. I don't think they were going to trap in that corner. I think they were going to just drop that top man to the bottom and almost flatten it out like a 2-3 zone.
Sam Swift in the Arlington lineup now. Ben Wasco back in, number 23, and the Red Raiders turn it over.
Yeah, one unforced error on one side, and they give it right back on the other.
And you know what, Scott, to be honest with you, got to give the Spy Ponders as a team a lot of credit. Their star player, Colin McNamara, has missed a significant amount of the second quarter with 2 fouls, and the Ponders have done a marvelous job changing this game around.
And that you can really credit Don Black on both ends of the floor. He's been everywhere in this second quarter.
Ponders have outscored Watertown to the tune of 14-1.
Wow.
Here in the second quarter. Now the ball's tipped and knocked out of bounds. It should be and will remain Arlington ball. 3:01 remaining in the first half, and the Ponders, who trailed by 7 at the end of the first quarter, now lead by 6. 13-point turnaround by Arlington here in the quarter.
Now it's straight man-to-man by Watertown. Let's see if Arlington can move the ball and get a Gascoigne to touch in the post.
This would be good for Coach Bowler if he can leave Colin on the bench with those 2 fouls until the second half, instead of feeling like he had a force to get him in there if they were trailing, to maybe risk getting that 3rd foul. Now, great entry pass there by Don Black to Wasco, but unfortunately for Arlington, they ran out of time and a shot clock violation committed.
Well, they ran out of time, and I also wasn't looking at the shot clock. There was a great pass inside.
Ponders get that little trap there on the corner, but able to get out of it is Fulcar. Little bounce pass to Corte, swing it back up top. Corte, baseline drive, and they should get him for that, and they do. An offensive foul. Now that one was a pretty obvious one on John Corte.
And Don
Who
Black,
was it that took that, Don?
Don Black again.
Wow.
There he is again, the right place at the right time, taking the full brunt of the opposition's aggressiveness, and taking a key charger. That's winning basketball there by Dom Black.
For the Ponders, number 13, tri-captain Daniel Kim checks in for the first time tonight. Here's Forte, and he throws it down. Woo! John Corte with a slam. He now has 8, and the Ponders lead at 25-21, and let's see if that gets the Watertown people excited.
Well, I can tell you, Don, I bleed Arlington red, but that got me pumped up. He threw that down with authority.
Yeah, he sure did. 25-21, Ponders coming up on the 2-minute mark here in the first half.
Harrington urging his troops.
Here's Daniel Kim, he's in trouble, and they're going to get a foul. That's unfortunate there. The aggressive Watertown defense almost led to a backcourt violation by the Ponders, and instead that's going to put Arlington to the line for a 1-and-1.
You know, Don, it's almost kind of like a dance between the two teams. Everyone trying to find that fine line of where aggressiveness meets a foul, and you want to not create the foul. And right there, you saw it right on the edge. They had a great trap there, but just made the contact a little too late.
Winston Rodriguez, number 22, gets the foul for the Raiders, and Daniel Kim will go to the line for a 1-and-1. And also for Arlington, checking into the lineup for the first time tonight is number 22, sophomore forward Stephen McGilvery.
So Dom Black gets a well-deserved and probably needed rest now, but let's mark that time, 1:59 in the half, 26-21. Let's see how the Spy Ponders are going to respond without their leader in the game right now.
1 of 2 for Daniel Kim. Blasco keeps alive. Gascoigne can't get the lay-in.
Or the call.
Yeah, they're really letting Gascoigne take a beating down there tonight. He's playing through it, and he's not complaining, so that got to give him credit for that. Fulcar, no. Ball's knocked out of bounds. It'll be Arlington ball. And here's Coach Bowler hustling for the ball all the way over there in the corner. I never saw you go for a ball like that, Coach Zwick. You know?
No, sorry, Bob. I wasn't going after any loose balls.
Past your pay grade, wasn't it?
Way past. The moment I hung up the sneaks, I didn't go after loose balls.
Nope. Oh, and boy, I think that's going to be on number 11, Corte, and if it is, that's his 3rd here in the first half, and he is by far, well, I shouldn't say by far because Fulcar has 7 points, but Corte with 8 points, the leading scorer for the Raiders, and he just picked up his 3rd, and that's costly.
It's very costly, Don. It could be a turning point in this ball game. You know, I got to tell you, Corte could have a lot more.
Free throw is missed by Wasco, and Coach Harrington, he's still talking to the officials about that call, but what he needs to do is make sure he gets Corte out of that lineup right now, because if Corte were to pick up another player control fouls, look like maybe they'd be in real trouble. And now they're going to get a reach-in foul on the Ponders. So Corte living dangerously with 3 fouls. He'll go to the line for 1-and-1.
Don, do you think it's possible that Coach Harrington doesn't realize that he's got 3 fouls?
Oh, no, he does. There's a player there at the table, but he's the shooter now. So if you're Arlington, you really want him to miss this front end of the 1-on-1 because, A, obviously they won't get the points, and B, Corte will be forced to play defense, and Arlington could possibly pick up that 4th foul.
No doubt.
I'd go right after him if he's still in there defensively here in the final minute 22. But he's coming out of there as soon as possible. And the first free throw is good.
I was saying about Cortez, a nice player, but I got to say that Gascoigne has defended him real well. He has some nice moves inside, but he could have 15, 20 points, but the defense has been spectacular. Well, not spectacular, but it's been good.
Double digits for Corte. He now, as we expected, checks out of the Watertown lineup. For Arlington, number 20, Dom Black is back in there. Gascoigne got a quick break. I think he might sit out the rest of the half, perhaps. I think that last foul was on him. I think for him that's his 2nd.
Yeah, he had a lot of foul trouble last year. Coach Bowler and Coach Wood were saying they were really hoping he could cut down his fouls so he could maximize his playing time out there.
Sure. So McNamara and Gascoigne for the Ponders, both with 2. And Arlington's going to try to ride out this final minute or so of the half, and they can get their 2 starters back in the lineup to begin the second half. Daniel Kim fakes, drives, pull-up jump shot, baseline is good. Nice looking play there by Daniel Kim, the tri-captain, with his first bucket of the season.
him stopping and popping, big deuce.
Under a minute to go here in the first half. Ponders by 5. Both teams with 8 team fouls down the stretch here. Little pull-up fadeaway jump shot there, difficult shot, but nice play there, getting his own rebound. It was number 31, Hairston, and then Chase took a wild three-pointer. Now the ball's stolen. Nice pass, and the ball's laid up and in. Andre Chase with the bucket on the feed from Jaden Hairston.
Hairston, a nice little feed there off the steal. A much-needed 2 points for the Raiders.
Shot clock off, 28-25 Ponders. They can hold for a final shot here. And now the ball's, they're saying it's deflected. And I think Arlington called timeout.
Yes, they did. They did. I think Coach Bowler wants to talk about what they're going to do in this last 13 seconds here. This game is really tightened up. Watertown has taken Arlington's best punch, and now they're punching back. And this is really like a heavyweight fight right now. It's a battle of the wills. It's a battle of foul trouble. It's a battle of who can finish at the basket. It's a battle of who can win those races.
And as we had that timeout called by Arlington with their first timeout of the ball game, and you saw Coach Harrington again in discussion with the officials. It's an interesting call there before Arlington took the timeout of who caused that ball to go to the backcourt, but the officials right there determined that it was deflected by Watertown, so no backcourt violation there, and the Ponders will have the ball in 13 seconds to go and hopefully get off a good final shot here at the end of the half.
I think what they're looking for here is a drive and finish or a drive and kick, but what you look, definitely something towards the basket. The key I always said for last second plays, both in the half and in the game, is you must get a shot at the basket. That is the goal. If you don't do that, you fail. So as long as you get a shot up, you're good to go.
So let's see what Coach Bowler designed for the final 13 seconds here. Dom Black will take it.
Straight man-to-man.
Arlington goes with a 1-4 set. Looks like Dom Black's going to probably go solo for this final shot. Pull-up jump shot from the foul line is short. Rebound, okay. Wasco tried to save it, but the ball had already hit the line, and this is literally 1/10 of a second remaining in the half, so nothing Watertown can do here except for run out the clock, and that's what they do. So there's your score at the end of the first half. The Arlington Spy Ponders outscore Watertown by a margin of 17-7 here in the second quarter. They take what was an 18-11 first quarter deficit and turn it into a 28-25 lead at the half. Score at the end of the first half, Arlington 28, Watertown 25. Scott and I will be back with second half action. And getting ready for second half action here from the Kozlowski Gymnasium, Don Phelan along with Scott Zwick. And Scott, what a turnaround there in the second quarter for the Ponders, turning a 7-point deficit into a 3-point lead.
Yeah, it was all Don Black, who just turned it over on both ends of the court. His energy was infectious. It ran through the team, and now they're going to look to get a big boost from Colin McNamara in the second half.
Arlington with the same starting five that began the game. Number 0, Nick Corrales. Number 2, Colin McNamara. Number 23, Ben Wasco. Number 14, James Gascoigne. Number 20, Dom Black. Now a loose ball on the ground, fought for, held the ball called. And of course, Arlington got the ball to begin the third quarter, so on the alternating possession rule, it will be Raider basketball.
Great hustle there by Watertown's Isaac Huff.
Now Watertown gets the ball up ahead of the pack. Watertown, I believe, with the same five that began the game for them. Number 3, Julio Fulcar. Number 5, Isaac Huff. Number 11, John Cortez. The ball is stolen by Colin McNamara, and he lays it up and in.
McNamara with a deflection, finishes at the rim. Real reminiscent of what he did last year, and this is what the Spy Ponders need more of in the second half.
Rounding out the starting five for the Raiders, you have Jaden Hairston, number 31, and Bondre Chase, number 35. Remember, number 11, the leading scorer for the Raiders in the first half, John Corte with the ball there, making the move with 3 personal fouls. He wanted a foul on that. Referee determined that the Arlington play went straight up. Now around the back pass by McNamara cannot be controlled, and it'll be Watertown ball.
A little too fancy there by McNamara, but I got to tell you, Gascoigne, that was defense post defense to perfection. He used the rule of verticality. He put his hands straight up in the air, and they never came down.
There was a Belmont scout here in the first half, and he was impressed with Gascoigne's tenacity on the boards. Don Black can't get the lay-in. He went for the front of the rim finger roll there, and it just wasn't correctly calculated. Now a little shot just inside the arc is good. A 2-point basket by Isaac Huff. Huff with his first points of the game.
And that's really a 4-point swing right there. Black misses the layup, and Huff hits the jumper on the other end. Spy Ponders could add some massive momentum right there.
McNamara sometimes being double teamed in the first half. Again there, Gascoigne turned around, baseline jump shot, no good. Knocked out of bounds by Watertown. It's Arlington ball.
I'll tell you something, they're doing a great job of guarding this Gascoigne tonight. They get their hands up in the air. They're very physical with him. He hasn't gotten many calls, but they've been just strong with there. He's wide open.
Beautiful play there on the feed from Corrales, and Gascoigne lays it in.
Much needed bucket for Gascoigne. Maybe this will get him going.
Half dozen for James so far tonight. Ponders lead by 5. Watertown in jeopardy of not getting it over the 10-second line, and that forces Coach Harrington to take his third time out of the game. Again, something I guarantee you Coach Harrington did not want to do was take a timeout in the backcourt 2 minutes into the third quarter, already having used 2 first-half timeouts.
There is no way on earth he wanted to call that timeout, but I'll tell you, Don, what that timeout tells me is the respect that Coach Steve Harrington has for John Bowler and the Spy Ponders. Because I'll tell you something, you're not going to call your third timeout with 5 minutes, 57 seconds left to prevent a 10-second count if you don't think that every possession means everything to you in this basketball game. And to me, that just shows the respect that he has for the Spy Ponders. And it was Don Black again leading the charge with aggressive play, causing that timeout to be called.
Yeah, I'm not sure who the Watertown player was, but it looked like he was pretty much aware of that 10-second count, and he was getting ready to make a pass, up and over half court. But Coach Harrington didn't want to take that chance, and as you can see on the shot clock, well, you can't see it on our screen, but the shot clock shows 21 seconds, so they were at 9 and 1 second away from a violation.
Now, give me with the
new
rules
10.
Here. New 10. So this
Brand
is
new
a new 10. Okay, thank you.
That might not be the case in the NBA, and I'm not sure about college, but I know it's not the case in the NBA. But
no, it's not the
high school, you definitely get a new 10. NBA now is 8, right?
Yes, it is 8.
So funny, refereeing men's leagues, and they're all yelling for the 8-second count. I'm like, what are you talking about? There's no such thing as an 8-second count. It's like when they want defensive 3 seconds, too. Hey, ref, he's playing defense in there for 3 seconds. I'm like, yeah, so?
You ref those men's league games, how are your ears after that?
That's all right. Especially when you referee games of Coach Bowler and Coach Hayes. I tell some stories there.
Those walls could talk.
Mm-hmm. Let's put it this way. I like them better as coaches than as players. How's that? Well, they're going to get Wasco on a little reach-in foul here at the top of the key, and quickly Arlington picked up a couple of fouls there. Wasco picks up his third, I believe.
He does. It's a little tic-tac foul, and he's trying to get those deflections, which the Spy Ponders feed off of.
Well, Wasco goes to the bench, and he's replaced by Joey Pazia. Who was that?
That was Corte on a nice little move. He's been trying to get that move to go all night long, and I'll tell you something, that's $1 million move right there. And if he starts feeling that from that little jump hook from 8 feet, look out.
Corte with a dozen on the night. Baseline drive by Gascoigne, kicks it back out. Nice play there. Corrales is going to take a 3. Shot is short. There's some action down low as Pazia went down in a heap. I don't know what happened down there.
So here comes the pressure from the Spy Ponders, but let's see if Watertown goes to Corte.
Quiet third quarter scoring-wise, each team with 4 points and 3 minutes into the quarter. Shot there, no good. Don Black high for the rebound.
Skying.
Pazia trapped on the sideline, gets it out to Don Black. Did confirm that Adrian Black and Don Black are indeed brothers. Perhaps even twins, I'm not sure about that. Pazia maybe got away with a little shoulder, but he lays it in.
Pazia turns to the basket, fights through a little bit of contact, maybe created it himself, and finishes for 2.
A little 5 count going here. Good defense by Corrales. Corte with the free hand spins to the lane and into the window and lays it in.
And there's that spin move, Don, that I was talking about. If he gets that going, look out. And I'll tell you something, if
McNamara misses it, but Gascoigne's there for the putback.
Yeah, if McNamara can get that going, it would be a great sign for the Spy Ponders, and Gascoigne finishes up the mess.
Now Pazia, I think he's going to get called for a foul. As Colin McNamara tried to pick up the, Colin tried to pick up the charge, but there's no question that Pazia had the little push in the back that caused all that contact. So that foul will go against Joey Pazia, his second and the third on the team.
Pazia, one of the more aggressive players in the football team. I think that he's still in the football season there, guarding defensive back.
Gascoigne fronts the low post. Double team briefly on Corte. Arlington backs off it. Man-to-man defense for the Ponders. Fulcar, no good. The rebound comes all the way out to Vondre Chase, and now Hairston's going to take a 3, no good. 2 Ponders there for the rebound, and again, Pazia goes to the deck. I don't know if he's mixing it up down there with Vondre Chase or not. We'll have to keep an eye on that. McNamara to the hole, can't get it to go, but he'll go to the line for 2.
He sure will go to the line for 2, Don, and I'll tell you something. It's night and day first half and second half with McNamara. There's a little pep in his step in this second half. He's getting a little step, getting the basket. He's getting a little bit of contact. He missed a layup earlier, and now he's going to the line, being rewarded for the effort.
Foul committed by Isaac Huff, his first on the team here in the second half. And Colin McNamara hits the first free throw.
I mean, let's tell it like it is, Don. McNamara is one of the best returning starters in Eastern Massachusetts MIAA basketball. That's how good this player is.
Adrian Black for the Ponders checks into the lineup as McNamara hits both free throws, half dozen for Colin. He's been quiet offensively, but the Ponders with the 7-point lead, maybe their largest lead of the night. And now they're going to say that an out-of-bounds play there. And again, Adrian Black with the defense. Now, whether you want to say he had the good position or not, the Watertown play went out of bounds. Whether he was forced out or not, well, that's up to the officials.
Yeah, there's that effort, that winning another race that time.
Ponders looking to extend this 7-point lead. A little tricky dribble there by Dom Black, and now we're going to get a reach-in foul, and that's 4 on Corte. And again, that's the second foul that Corte picked up out here between the circles.
Yeah, so what's that, 35 feet from the basket? Your best player, a big man who can score down low, is committing fouls 35 feet from the basket. I know Coach Harrington wants aggressiveness, but he's paying a huge price for it here.
Corte with 14 of Watertown's 31 points, so his offense is going to be drastically missed here until he's able to come back in.
And should give Gascoigne some options on offense.
Oh, nice little play there by Huff as he was able to strip it away from Dom Black, and another deflection this time by Hairston knocking it out of bounds. It will remain Arlington ball.
But I like Dom Black. His head is always up. He's always looking to make a pass, always looking to make the right play.
Baseline jump shot for Colin McNamara is short. Ball tipped, saved by Black. Now Watertown steals it. Fulcar can't get the lay-in. Rebound fought for. And now we're going to have a foul. I think they're going to get Dom Black on that.
Yeah, I think they are, Don. And I'll tell you something, that's a foul I don't mind at all because he's hustling hard for that basketball. And he just got a little bit tangled up right there. But Colin McNamara a little slow to recover after giving up the basketball.
Second on Dom Black, 4th on the team. Hairston will take that little jump shot and make it.
Nice little pump fake by Hairston. We got Gascoigne up in the air and then just kind of followed through. A nifty move.
38-33 Ponders as we approach the 2-minute mark remaining in the third quarter. 14 on the shot clock. Dom Black, left hand, ball's knocked loose. Watertown looked to push, but they're coming up 3 on 4. Now thought Adrian Black had that steal in his sights, just was too far away. Now Fulcar throws up the little floater and makes it.
And now Watertown's got all the momentum on their side, which is really shocking with Corte on the bench. Everybody else has kind of picked their game up a bit. Maybe the Spy Ponders took a little bit off the pedal.
Off the metal off the pedal, yeah.
Metal off the pedal, and they're paying the price right now.
Well, we saw that similar in the first half when Colin McNamara picked up his second foul, and the rest of the Ponder team rallied to that cause. So with Corte going out, now we're seeing everybody else picking it up, and Arlington had a 7-point lead. Now it's a one-possession game. Good defense. Good defense by Corrales. Yeah, they got it over right at the 21-second mark there, so they had used up 9 of it. Little backdoor cut there, but Pazia was kind of onto that, and the ball was knocked off his leg and out of bounds. It will remain Raider ball.
And another deflection for the Spy Ponders. They don't necessarily need those to be turnovers. They just want deflections, as many as possible. That's good for them.
Minute 20 to go, first half. Ponders with a precarious 3-point lead. 3-point shot. This could tie it, and it does.
It does.
That's your man Julio Fulcar. He's taken over since Corte went down with the foul trouble. He's got a dozen.
Fulcar
tied at 38-7-0 run by Watertown, and McNamara stops that run right there with a strong move to the basket.
McNamara answers Fulcar's huge three with a big deuce of his own.
Gascoigne hustling for the rebound. A deflection there by Pazia, and Gascoigne has the basket.
Pazia deflected it, and Gascoigne finished it up.
3-on-2 break now for the Raiders. Ball is knocked loose, and there for the loose changes here. It's a fortuitous bounce there for the Raiders. Arlington back the other way. We're up and down right now. Dom Black around the rim and out. And the Ponders now with a 2-point lead, and Watertown can hold for a final shot.
Back and forth we go.
A 3-point shot here by Chase. Long. Rebound fought for. Hairston comes up, but there's still plenty of time for the Raiders. That was actually a shot that Coach Harrington probably didn't want. There was still 10 seconds remaining in the quarter, and now a blocking foul will be called against Nick Corrales.
A little nickel and dimer on Corrales right there.
Corrales, I believe that's just his first, and the 5th on the team. Raiders with 2 team fouls, and Arlington with 5. So the foul disparity there favoring the Raiders entering the fourth quarter.
And here comes Corte with 4 fouls into the ball game for this last play.
He better set a legal screen, I'll tell you that much. Hairston's going to take the fadeaway. Shot's no good. Corrales comes up with it, launches it from all the way down court. No good, but that will be the end of the third quarter. So let's see. Looks like Arlington was outscored that quarter 15-14, so the 3-point Arlington lead shaved by just a point here in the third quarter, and Arlington will take a 2-point advantage into the fourth quarter. The score at the end of 3, Arlington 42 and Watertown 40.
I'll tell you, Don, I can't say enough about the effort for both teams here in that third quarter. They came out with a purpose. We saw some big plays by Colin McNamara. Dom Black continuing his big play. As we look at the cheerleaders there, what a spectacular job they're doing. Wow.
Back in the day, they were called the Maroon Squad. It was the basketball and the soccer cheerleaders were known as the Maroon Squad, and the Gray Squad cheered for hockey and football. I don't know if they still have all those different squads for cheerleading, but there's your Arlington High varsity cheerleading squad for home basketball games.
Get a little history lesson from Mr. Phelan. Thank you very much. I did not know that.
You got to know your cheerleading stats, man.
You sure do.
That's for sure.
Up to the minute on the history of cheerleading in Arlington High. Excellent.
Mm-hmm.
As I was saying, Don, I just thought that was a really good effort by both teams in the third quarter there, and I think the fourth quarter here it's going to be who's going to be able to win those races, but more importantly right now, it's who's going to be able to finish at the basket. A couple players have had some point-blank shots at the basket and haven't been able to get them to go down, and the team that gets them to go down and Corte on the inside when he comes back in is going to be key.
Corte will not begin the fourth quarter for the Raiders. Coach Harrington inserted him just for the final 11 seconds there of the third quarter. Now we have a little mix-up here between Colin McNamara and Julio Fulcar, neither one wanting to give ground. And
well, Fulcar wants to invade his space, and I don't blame him.
referee Marcus Jones right there to tell him, guys, the ball's not even in bounds yet. Let's clean this up right now. It's been a good matchup, and so far, Fulcar, I would have to say, fortunately for Watertown, gotten a little bit better of it so far here tonight, but we'll see how that plays out in the fourth quarter when it's McNamara time. Colin held to 8 points through the first 3 quarters. Now a little backdoor cut. He had, I think he was actually going for Don Black on that, but Wasco went to the same spot. Wasco collects the pass, puts it in, count the basket, and Ben Wasco will go to the line with a chance for a 3-point play.
A little serendipity for Wasco right there. Look what I found. He takes the ball to back, a little hoop, a little harm, and an extra point. I'll let an extra shot here for Mr. Wasco.
Julio Fulcar will pick up that foul. So, strangely enough, just his first for the entire game. So for someone who plays such aggressive defense, kind of surprised that he only has that first foul. A great double team here by the Ponders, and that causes a turnover. It was Dom Black and Nick Corrales on the double team, and I thought, to be honest with you, Scott, I thought they were very close to getting over. That's a danger when you double team, isn't it, Scott? As a coach, you get that double team and everybody gets excited, and then next thing you know, somebody pushes too hard or grabs an arm or commits a foul that you really don't want when you have the double team.
You don't want to reach, you want to mirror the ball is what they say, and that's what they did. Excellent job up right there. Here's another defense.
Look at Don Black on the floor, save that possession for the Ponders. Corrales gets hammered, count the basket, and Nick Corrales will go to the line with a chance for a 3-point play. Ponders lead by 5.
Corrales gets the basket, but that play was made by my man Don Black.
No doubt.
Kept the play alive, and the Spy Ponders take commanding 7-point lead.
Yes, sir. That ball was going right to a Watertown player, and Arlington just wanted it more. Don Black wanted it more. He hit the floor, kept it alive, and they're going to get Arlington with a free throw violation.
Ouch.
And it'll be Watertown ball. Did that go in?
It did go in.
Yeah, so that's a point that the Ponders hopefully will not need as Ben Wasco commits a free throw lane violation. Remember now, too, the rule for probably a few years now is you can go on the release by the free throw shooter. Certainly not before. Another double team by the same 2 players. Again, it's Corrales and Black. Black, baseline, drives, lays it up. No, fights for his own rebound, lays it up and in.
Don Black not to be denied. Timeout, Watertown. Bing, bang, boom. Here come the Spy Ponders.
7 minutes remaining in the ball game. Spy Ponders by 9, and Watertown takes a timeout. So that is timeout number 4 used by the Raiders, and they are down to their final timeout.
A much-needed timeout there by the Raiders. This game has been turned on its head by Don Black on the defensive end, on the offensive end right there. He misses a point-blank layup, but stays with it, fights for the rebound, goes up, finishes for another deuce. Arlington pulls to a 9-point lead. It's been all Don Black in the fourth quarter.
As you get a look at the Arlington huddle, prior to that, we had a nice view of the defender of the court, Bartz. Bob Bartholomew's been here since I was in school here years ago, and you know, who needs cheerleaders when you got Bartz out there, right?
No doubt. He's got the moves.
So the Ponders open this quarter with a 7-0 run, and they take a 49-40 lead into this final 7 minutes of the contest. And again, Arlington's going to go with that tenacious double team. It's Black and Corrales. And finally, Watertown able to get it over the timeline. And they had to put Corte back into the lineup. Now, before the shot and before the travel, I think they're going to get James Gascoigne on a blocking foul.
Yeah, they are going to get him on a blocking foul. That's not a foul that I really like. I think he got a little bit of benefit of the doubt there because he's got 4 fouls.
Yep. 3rd on James, 6th on the team. So the Ponders will be in the penalty for the duration of the game. 3-point shot by Chase, no good. McNamara had that rebound contested from behind by Isaac Huff, and that was just enough to not allow Colin to corral that rebound, and ball knocked out of bounds by Colin.
Big defensive set here by the Spy Ponders.
And there's Fulcar saying, I'm going right to the rack and laying it in. 14 for Julio Fulcar, the junior guard, has been impressive tonight.
He has been impressive. He's He's tough. He can finish at the hole.
Wasco dumps it to Gascoigne, and Gascoigne lays it in. What a play by Ben Wasco.
Wasco feeds Gascoigne, squared his shoulders and finished at the 10.
Gascoigne with a quiet 12 tonight, and Ponders reclaim that 9-point lead. 6 minutes to go in the contest. And they're going to get a reach-in foul. No basket there. It's going to go against Nick Corrales. For Nick, that'll be his second, and that will put Arlington into the penalty and Watertown into the bonus.
You know, I'll tell you, Don, I really don't mind that foul. That's an aggressive play. He's trying to prevent dribble penetration right there. And if Fulcar's just a little bit better than him on that one play, that's really not going to bother me. And there's the miss.
Fulcar misses the front of the 1-on-1. Don Black elected to let that go out of bounds. That was dangerous. I wasn't sure who was off, but he must have been sure, and he was right. Arlington ball.
He's been right all night.
And let's see here. They did not reset the shot clock, so Arlington will have to inbound again. And with Watertown playing pressure defense as a coach, that always makes you a little nervous getting that initial entry pass in, doesn't it, Scott? Although they kind of backed off, I guess.
Watertown seems a little bit beaten down mentally right now.
Yep.
There's a reach. That's a great call.
And that's going to go against Isaac Huff.
And
Isaac his third and the fifth on the team.
And you saw Corrales do something that the high school coach teach all the time. He met the ball. He went after the basketball.
There's another one.
Same thing. Exact same play. Yep. Perfect to show the folks at home. The ball came at him, and then he went for the ball instead of waiting for the ball to come to him. It caused a foul.
Yep. And for Isaac Huff, he picks up foul number 4, 6th on the team. So the Raiders now are in jeopardy of being in the penalty for the duration of the game. 2
huge fouls there.
Yep. And that caused a little exit out of the lineup for him as number 22, Winston Rodriguez, checked into the Raider lineup. That ball, I think it had been tipped initially by Watertown, but Don Black didn't want to take the chance, and he wasn't able to collect that. Last touched by Arlington.
No, he wasn't, and I'll tell you, Fulcar's just doing a phenomenal job on McNamara tonight, harassing him all over the place.
Got a little entry pass there.
Another deflection.
Ill-advised.
See if we get Gascoigne a touch here. Get Gascoigne a touch here.
There you go. He's going to launch a 3. And make a 3. Great call there, Coach Zwick.
Way downtown, bang, Gascoigne.
Gascoigne now tying Don Black for high point honors for the Ponders with 15. And again, Arlington relentless with the defense. They now have a 12-point lead, their largest of the game. And Watertown's going to have to make some moves here within the final 5 minutes to make this a ball game. It's been a close game all night long, and then bang, all of a sudden, Ponders outscoring them 12-2 to begin this fourth quarter.
Another deflection here. Two
here
deflections.
Comes McNamara. He lays it up and in.
And
timeout Arlington.
Timeout by Arlington. Coach Bowler, Coach Woods special. They love these positive timeouts there. But I'll tell you, what you love to see more than anything else is Captain Colin McNamara, senior, your best, most talented player on the team. He's back in the action. He's getting the hoop in the harm. Didn't get the whistle there, but he played through contact, made the basket, and it's really been the three-headed monster especially in the fourth quarter of Don Black, James Gascoigne, Colin McNamara there finishing off the 2 to put the Spy Ponders up 56-42.
What I kind of like that's happened to me, Scott, so far the team tonight is in the first half it was mostly Don Black. I think he's been relatively quiet scoring-wise here, but not defensively. Let me say that right away. But Gascoigne has picked up the slack offensively, and Colin McNamara has as well. So you got a really, like you said, a really balanced attack with the 3 leaders right there.
And what can you say about Nick Corrales?
Defense, that's what you can say.
Tremendous defense and being an outlet and someone who can be trusted with the ball on offense. Those are players that kind of get lost a little bit in the shuffle in the box score, but they're winning ball players, and it's winning play.
4:35 remaining in the contest. And the Ponders with their largest lead of the night, 14 points, 56-42.
So if you're the Spy Ponders right here, what you don't want to do is reach in. You don't want to give them chances to score with the clock stopped.
Correct. Well, knocked out of bounds as Fulkai made a nice little move to the basket there, but couldn't get the roll. Ball knocked out of bounds by the Ponders.
Which is really tough for a team like Arlington, which really relies on up-tempo play and deflections to get them to kind of dial that back a bit. But that's what they've got to do here. They want to keep this lead. Another deflection.
Fulkai was short on that three. Fulkai, I think he got away with a blocking foul there. And now Chase will lay it up and in for the Raiders.
Chase, a little Euro step there and finished with a nice deuce.
56-44 now, halfway through the fourth quarter. Ponders lead by a dozen. Wasco fighting for that position down low. Now he sets the screen. Gascoigne up top. Now he gets it over to Corrales. Inside to Gascoigne.
Go to work, son.
Gascoigne spins. Jump shot off the back window. Good. What a play by Ben Wasco on the follow-up. Puts it up and in.
Wasco cleans up the mess. Finishes. What a night for Wasco.
I thought Wasco was going to have a steal there. Corte for three. He's got it.
This Corte's a nice little player. You wonder what would have happened if he hadn't gotten into foul trouble. But he's got a real tough inside game. There he shows that he can hit the outside shot as well.
That's one thing that's been missing from tonight's game. Not a lot of threes for either team. And usually Watertown has a couple guys that can gun, and Arlington really hasn't used the three-point shot at all.
I think both teams have defended the three-point line tremendously tonight.
Yep. Wasco, he's going to take a three and make a three. So there we go.
Wasco with a little heat check, and the heat is turned way up on that.
And now a steal by the Ponders, and a reach-in foul committed by Fulcar.
And there's that man, Nick Corrales, excuse me. I want to say that right because he's doing such a nice job there. Doing the little things again. He's in the right place at the right time. He gets the foul called against him and gets rewarded with the free throw.
1-on-1 for Nick Corrales. And another violation committed by the Ponders.
That's something that's going to have to be cleaned up in practice in the next couple of days.
Well, especially when it's your shooter that's shooting. You should know the rhythm and the form of your own shooters. Now, if the other team has a player that has a little funky hitch in their shot, it might throw you off a little bit, but you should know your own guys, right?
No doubt.
Oh, now he tries to take the charge, and I don't think he's going to get a count the basket for Corte, and he'll go to the line with a chance for a three-point play. Wasco's not going to get the charge.
Well, everything else has been going for Wasco. You would have thought that would have went. I thought he had good position there, but it looks like Huff is going to get, Corte is going to get the benefit of the doubt there, and he gets the hoop and the harm.
Yeah, I don't think they were going to take Corte out on a player control foul at this point in the game. So Corte hits the free throw. He now has 20 points on the evening. And Watertown kind of within striking distance with 2.5 to go. They trail by 11. And I wouldn't say this game's totally over yet by any stretch of the imagination. Now Huff will commit another blocking foul. And for Isaac Huff, he is fouled out of this contest with 2 points.
So Huff fouls out and Corrales goes to the line. Now last time there was a violation by the Spy Pirates, but Corrales missed the shot quite badly. Let's hope he can adjust his shot a bit here and make these key free throws for the Spy Ponders to ice this ball game.
So indeed, that was foul number 5 on Huff. And Nick Corrales at the line for a 1-on-1. Both teams have committed 8 team fouls, and Corrales hits the front end of the 1-on-1.
Smooth looking stroke for Corrales after missing poorly on his last attempt.
5 points on the night for Nick. Second free throw, no good. Nick just a sophomore, so Arlington kind of a young team for the Spy Ponders this year, Scott. Only 2 seniors. Colin McNamara being one and Daniel Kim being the other. So nice nucleus for the Ponders going forward.
Future is bright in Arlington.
Comes McNamara to the basket, switches to the left hand, no good. Corte missed the initial initial shot attempt, and then on the putback he was fouled. And the foul will go against Don Black, I believe.
Yeah, I believe that's who it is. And I tell you, Cortez a nice little ball player. He's tough. He's strong around the basket. He can hit from the inside, from the outside.
He's just a junior as well. Hits his first free throw.
I mean, he's got a nice little stroke. He's a big kid. He's tough.
So between Fulcar and Corte, both leading scorers for the Raiders, just juniors, one of two. And Watertown able to come up with the loose ball. And Corte goes strong to the hole and lays it in. 23 now for Corte.
23 points, and he just, I kind of knew early if he started to get his touch around the rim that he was going to be tough. And I think for the Spy Pioneers, they're fortunate that didn't happen a little bit earlier.
Oh, and a nice bounce pass there by Corrales. Gets it to Dom Black on the feed. Dom unable to hit, but that's because he was fouled on the play. He'll go to the line for two.
You know, Black darting to the basket like he's been doing all night. That time he got hit, and he's rewarded with a couple of free throws.
Julio Fulcar, number 3 for the Raiders, picks up the foul, his third. 9th on the team. Both teams now have 9 team fouls, and so both teams will be in the double bonus for the duration of the game. And Dom Black hits the first of 2.
Black looks good in the line. He's got a nice little stroke.
Gets them both.
No, they didn't jinx him. I thought he jinxed him.
Oh, 17 for the junior tri-captain. What an honor for Dom Black to be elected as a captain as a junior with 2 other seniors. And now inside there, putting it up and in, and that's number 31, Jaden Hairston for 2. He scores, and Coach Harrington will take that final timeout. He's not going to take it home on the bus with him. He's going to decide to use it.
Nope.
Down by 9 with 1:27. You know, as any coach, positive thinking coach will think, he's thinking this game's not over. 3-possession game, hit a couple threes. I'm still in this game.
No doubt, and especially anytime you got John Corte still available in this ball game, you know, you're still alive. And the Spy Pioneers are going to have to hit their free throws down the stretch here and control, and more importantly, control the basketball. But I tell you, looking at the bigger picture there, Don, you really kind of touched on something. The amount of successful and talented underclassmen in this game is really quite shocking. You're probably looking at 2 of the better teams in the conference this year, and certainly moving forward into next year. The future's very bright for the Spy Pioneers, but I think it's pretty bright for the Watertown club as well.
And with the holidays both being on Sundays, and of course the observed holidays being on Mondays, and with school vacation, we kind of an interesting schedule for the Spy Pioneers coming up. They'll play next Tuesday at Melrose High School, then they play on Thursday at Wakefield High School. Then there's an 8-day layoff for the Spy Pioneers before the next home game, which will be 2 weeks from tonight on December 30th, when the Highlanders of Somerville High School will come into the Tozlowski Gymnasium. So we look forward to seeing you all for that home contest after the Spy Pioneers have a little 2-game road trip and then an extended holiday break.
And here's where you really like to have a Colin McNamara team. He can control the basketball, has the ball on a string right there, and even though his game's a little rusty tonight, he certainly can still dribble the basketball and shows there the value of having a senior guard who can control the basketball on your club.
Nick McDermott in the lineup for the Raiders commits that foul. Colin McNamara will go to the line for 2, double bonus. McNamara is in double figures tonight with 10. That free throw rolled around and out for Colin. Just really couldn't get it going so much offensively tonight. A couple of fouls in the first half limited his first half minutes.
Well, he's been battling injuries for a couple of months now, so there's a little bit of rust on his game, but you know, he's not far away from breaking out.
Around the rim and out for both free throws for Colin. And now we're in the final minute of the game, and the Ponders still lead by 9 as Watertown comes up empty on their offensive possession, and now a blocking foul committed by Jaden Hairston, number 31, and that'll put Dom Black at the line for 2. And for Hairston, picking up his second foul.
Hairston's not a bad little ball player himself. If he moved his feet a little bit better, I think he'd be a little more effective defensively. And one thing that's happened for this whole game that I've been a little bit confused at, Don, you touched on it twice, is they have their bigger players guarding tight very far away from the basket. That's a little bit confusing to me, especially when they get matched up with guards.
Black hits both free throws, 19 on the night for the junior tri-captain. There's Hairston, blocked from behind by Wasco.
Have a night, Wasco. Get that out of here.
5-second differential between the two clocks, so Arlington can almost dribble out the game. They do have to take a shot as they lead it by 11. So the winning streak, I did find out, Scott, was 24 coming into tonight. So the regular season win streak for the Spy Ponders will increase to 25 straight games, as Arlington pretty much can dribble out the clock here. Gascoigne to the hole, puts it up no good, puts back the follow-up is good. 17 for James Gascoigne, and the clock will run out, and the Ponders will take the season opener and the home opener by a score of 68-55.
Well, I'll tell you, John, a terrific opener for the Spy Ponders. Anytime you can get a game where you only get 10 points out of your senior captain, who you're expecting to score in heavy volume for you,
sure,
and come away with a 68-55 win, creating turnovers, you know, the play by Don Black really stood out, and also the play by Nick Corrales, the sophomore. I thought he was spectacular tonight, doing all the little things, winning those races I was talking about earlier.
Yeah, no doubt it's a great way to open up the season for the Spy Ponders. Let's run down the scoring leaders for Watertown. We were impressed with both number 11, John Corte, with 23 points, and number 3, Julio Fulcar, with 14. Jaden Hairston and Vondre Chase each with 8, and Isaac Huff had 2. For your Spy Ponders, Nick Corrales had 5, Colin McNamara had 10, Daniel Kim had 3, Ben Wasco with 9 points, Joey Pazia and Sam Swift each with 2. High point honors for the Spy Ponders, James Gascoigne with 17, and the leading scorer and the ACMI player of the game tonight, junior tri-captain guard Dom Black with 19 points. So that will wrap it up here for the home opener for the Ponders. They extend their home winning streak regular season to 25 games. And we'd like to thank you for joining us tonight. Remind you that Arlington, as I said, has 2 road games next week, and then they return to the Kozlowski Gymnasium 2 weeks from tonight on December 30th against Somerville. The final score here from the Kozlowski Gymnasium: Arlington High School 68, Watertown High School 55. For my partner Scott Zwick, and I'd like to thank all the ACMI staff that was here tonight bringing you this wonderful telecast. I can't tell you what a production it is here tonight, and unbelievable, and we'd like to thank everybody for that.
And Donna, just want to add one more thing. You know, you mentioned the wonderful broadcast we have down here, and I've been mentioning it throughout the football season, so I just want to continue it here in this broadcast. If you're ever thinking about coming down and being part of the broadcast, come on down, contact ACMI, go to acmi.tv on the web, give us a call, come on down, be part of the broadcast in any way, shape, or form. We have a lot of fun doing it. It's a great crew. It's a great way to have fun, be part of the broadcast, be part of the winning Arlington team that is ACMI.
And on top of that, Jeff Monroe and Kevin Wetmore leading the crew. And again, thanks to the rest of the crew here tonight as we wrap it up. Arlington wins it 68-55.